Hi guys, Arthur here from Homeowner DIY. In this video, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot a faucet with low flow on one side. Now, whether it's a kitchen or bath faucet, single handle or two handle faucet, it's going to be the same approach. I'm also going to talk about the theory on why this works for different styles of faucet and the simplest way to approach this. Now, I'm also going to change out the plastic supply lines just because I feel that braided supply lines are better and they have a longer lifespan and they're reusable, not a compression style like plastic ones. So what we'll do now is material and tools. Alright, this is our materials list. So I have a 12-inch supply extension and then I have two 20-inch supply lines. I'm going to change out the plastic compression style supply lines and put these braided. The thing about these braided is they're threaded ends, they're not compression. Compression is generally a one-shot deal. That's why I'm going to flip them out. And I highly suggest, if you notice that you have plastic supply lines, switch them to braided. And I also have a stop. All I need really is the washer inside, but they don't sell just the washers. At least I couldn't get them. I don't know if the washer inside the stop has broken apart, disintegrated. That's what's blocking the one side, or if there's another type of debris, but I'm going to have the stop on hand so I can change out the washer if necessary. So what we'll do now is tools list. Alright, this is the tools list. I'll be taking my finishing kit here, so channel locks, crescent wrench, ratchet wrenches, Allen keys, whatever else I might need. We'll see how this goes. Alright, so this is our faucet. That's the cold side. That's the hot side. So there's something that is blocking flow on the hot side of this faucet. Alright, so we have our hot, we have our cold, and then we have our plastic supply lines. So these nuts have ferrules inside. It's the compression type. In the most part, these are a one-shot deal. Once you take them off, you're more than likely going to have to replace them with a new supply line or cut it off and put on a new nut and a new ferrule. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the supply lines first, and then I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot this issue. Okay, so we have our nuts for our supply lines. This is when you need a Basin wrench to get these nuts off. There's no other way to do it as far as I know. Alright, so I'm going to turn the hot off. And now we're going to see how much flow of water we get through the hot side. Alright, so the hot is off. And we have no flow through the hot side. That means the stop that I just shut off is working. Okay, so I'm going to show you the simplest approach to deal with this issue. So the hot stop is off, the cold is still on. So that means we have 60 pounds here, and then once I open this, we'll have no pressure on this side. Alright, so we have 60 pounds on the cold side, we have nothing on the hot side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the hot side, and then I'm going to turn on the cold side. What's going to happen is 60 pounds will come up, across, and then it'll push out the other side into my bucket. Alright, so I'm going to turn on the cold, and we'll push some water through the system. Alright, looking in the bucket, I don't see any debris. So we'll now test the faucet. Alright, so I'm going to remove both of these plastic supply lines and replace them with braided lines. So to get to the nuts at the bottom of the faucet, what you need is this, which is called a Basin wrench. Okay, so I have the rod, and then at the top, this is the way it's going to go. Now, because this is a little more worn out, a lot of times I have to put my hand on the very top to get it to bite. Like, it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do here. So that's loosened off. and this is just a compression style. Okay, so this is my 20-inch supply line. You can't get anything longer. You see how short it is? That means I need a supply extension. So this is a 12-inch supply extension. So this nut here will be 5/8, and then the other one is whatever, I don't know. So tighten it down until it stops. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten the new one on. Once again, Basin wrench, flip the head over so it bites into it, and then turn it until it stops. Alright, now I'm going to tighten down the bottom to stop. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and flip out the other one. So shut the valve off. Open the faucet at the top to break the airlock, and then I will go ahead and rinse and repeat. Alright, we'll turn on our stops all the way, give a quarter turn back because these are globe style stops. Now let's check our faucet. Alright, so we'll check our hot. And now we have low flow on the opposite side. So I think there's something that is caught up in here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the cartridge to see if there's a piece of debris over here. Okay, so to take this off, first thing we're going to do is shut off the stops. They're both off. And now for this style, the cap at the top here needs to be taken out. And this is a Phillips. Okay, so we have a Phillips. And it's always good to close the drain. In this case, it's easy to get if it does fall down, but as a good practice before taking out this screw, block the drain off. Alright, so we'll take off the handle. Next will be the trim cover. And then there's a nut here that is holding the cartridge down to the base. Right, so now I'm going to turn on the hot side, and when I turn on the hot here, that's going to force water to come out. Alright, so I'm going to put the cartridge back in. So this has a half circle on this side, which means the handle goes that way. Make sure that you don't put this in backwards. We'll put the cartridge in, and then we'll tighten up the nut. Alright, so we'll put the handle back on, and we'll turn on the cold. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to the hot side now. So this is a cartridge. The holes line up so you'll get water flow when you turn it. That'll stop the water flow. So water comes up in through the bottom and then it comes out. That is the way a modern cartridge works. Alright, so we now have flow on both sides. So what I'm going to do is, I put the cartridge already back in, I put the nut back on. So the next will be this trim piece. So our handle has the half circle. It only goes on one way. Remember, the handles need to be opposite horizontal. That's the way it's been done. Put the screw back in. Put that back on. And that is it for this. Now, I didn't find anything specifically, as in what the obstruction was. Maybe it's in my bucket. Alright guys, so that concludes this project. So troubleshooting a faucet, in my opinion, is relatively simple. As long as you understand the mechanics, how it works, you should be able to do this on your own. I've laid out what you need to know and how to go about it. So with this video, you should be good to go when the time comes that you need to troubleshoot your own faucet. The time on the job. The time was about an hour. I had to go the whole 9 yards on this one. I pulled out both cartridges. I wasn't expecting that the blockage or the low flow went from one side to the other. If that happens, take both cartridges out and then turn the water on together, and that will push water through the system on both sides. But I eventually got this figured out, so I'm very happy with it. The cost of this job. The supply lines were about $20. The actual cost for troubleshooting the faucet was nothing. The investment for Allen keys or whatever you need for tools. The first time that you fix something like this, you have paid off your investment for anything that you needed. To get somebody out is easily $100-something. So the investment for a few tools that you can reuse over and over again is definitely worth it in the long run. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I hope something here is going to help you on your project, but you need to go ahead and do that. Guys, till next time, please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next project.